All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Halia. I am a Golden IATAN card holder. I have been with Archer almost 4 years now. It'll literally be 4 years in 11 days. Oh, no, 14 days. So 2 weeks from today. Oh yeah, 2 weeks from today, it'll be 4 years. I am really glad that you guys are all here. Okay, we're going to be going over all about building routines that actually stick, even when life is busy. Okay, because we all know life can be crazy. So we all know that on those crazy days, it's hard to stick to those different things that we have set, right? So it's all about creating realistic routines and not only realistic routines, but realistic backup plans for those days where life just kind of takes over, but it's going to help you still stay on track towards whatever goals you set, okay? They're going to be simple, realistic systems that help you show up consistently without burning out, okay? So if you guys have any questions throughout the meeting, please go ahead and type them in the chat. I will be answering them as I'm going along. I'll also have a Q&A at the end. And I'll stick around for as long as you guys need to answer any questions, okay? So today's goals, we want to understand why routines usually fail, right? Because if we don't understand something, then there's no way we can work around and fix it and make things work if we don't understand it, right? We also want to learn how we can build a routine that fits your life. My routine is not going to be the same as Crystal's routine, just because you're the first name that popped into my head, or Casey's routine, or even my girlfriend's routine, Tracy, who we literally live together. Our routines are not the same, right? We're also going to make it so that way you stop relying on motivation because motivation is going to come and go. Routine is what is going to help you stay consistent. Okay, so we're going to take the focus away from motivation and back on consistency plans, strategies, things like that. Okay. We literally are polar opposites. All right. And then we're also going to help you have a simple structure so that way you can use it for anything, whether it's like health goals, work, business, personal, whatever your goals are, you can apply this to anything. Okay. Now, why do most routines fail? Well, first, most people think they're bad at routines. So if you go into a routine or trying to create a routine and think you're bad at it, you're going to fail, right? Because that's what the energy that you're putting into the world, into the universe, into all of it, right? You're putting bad energy and negative energy into that. Okay. So first, we start by removing the guilt. Okay. If something doesn't happen or you're using somebody else's schedule, like I can tell you, Tracy has tried to use my routine. I have tried to use Tracy's routine. It is not going to work because we are different people, right? I could try to use Casey's routine. I can guarantee you, whatever her routine is, that is not going to work for me, okay? Because Casey's brain is completely different than my brain. So we're going to stop feeling guilty about not being able to copy somebody else's routine, right? Your routine also might be too strict. It might be too complicated. It's probably based on someone else's life. I know a lot of people like to look at like super, super successful people. And one thing I've noticed in listening to podcasts and listening to interviews and reading books and reading different things is one of the most asked questions I've seen for like really big, successful entrepreneurs is what is your morning routine? As if that person's morning routine is going to be able to apply and work with everybody. As if some single man who is a billionaire, his routine is going to work for a single mom of four. That's not how that's going to work, right? Yeah, it's great to know what they do and how they prioritize things, but we need to be able to make it to fit into our life, okay? And also, maybe you're trying to change too many things at once, right? And this is something that I am very, very, very guilty of as well, right? I have tried to create new routines where I'm like, I'm going to start eating healthy. I'm going to start working out every day. I'm going to start washing the bed sheets every day. I don't know, right? We're doing a bunch of random things every single day. That's not going to be successful, right? You're never going to be able to keep up with all of that. We need to start with 1 to 2 different changes to your routine at a time. Once you get consistent with that and you're used to that and that becomes part of your daily habits, then we can change 1 to 2 new aspects of it. Okay. So it's going to be a slow, steady build rather than we're creating a whole new, brand new thing right now. Okay. And also relying on motivation instead of structure, right? Saying, all right, I know when I get up in the morning, one, when I get up in the morning, for me at least, is not consistent. Okay. And that's something that I know that I need to work on. Mornings for me are hard. So if I'm trying to get up in the morning and work out and do all of these different things, once I don't get up in the morning early enough to work out, my whole day is thrown off. All of a sudden, everything doesn't work out. I can't do any of it because I didn't get that first thing done. So instead of relying on motivation for getting up early, we rely on structure. How am I already doing things? Where can I add 1 to 2 changes in that work best for me? For me, for example, we're going to stick with that morning workout, right? For me, for example, getting up at 5 a.m. and working out is not something that I can be consistent at right now. And that's okay because that's not something that I'm used to. That's not something my body's used to. That's not something my brain is used to. However, I can easily add maybe a workout in the afternoon, something that is a little bit more attainable for me and easier for me to achieve and succeed at until I'm more successful with that, right? Then maybe I can add in just waking up earlier. We'll start with 30 minutes, then we'll start with 45, then we'll start with an hour, right? We'll slowly go through those things, but that is starting with structure, not the motivation for me to want to get up out of bed at 5 a.m. when I'm peacefully in my bed, wrapped in my blankets, cuddling my dog, okay? Because the motivation is not there at that time. And I want you guys to know with routines, you guys are not failing your routine, you're not sticking to your routine or anything like that because you are lazy, okay? It is most likely because whatever system you have created that you have seen works for these other people probably does not match your real life and work for your real life, okay? So we're going to go into the different like buckets of a successful routine and the non-negotiable 3 that you should be implementing into your routine to fit your own life. All right. Do you guys have any questions on routines failing at this time? Or do you guys want to share any examples of a routine you've tried that just did not work at all? Feel free to share that as well in the chat. Okay. So the 3 buckets of any successful routine. Every single area of life fits into one of these 3 buckets, right? The first bucket we have is output. So this is something that moves things forward, right? This action creates results. You might have heard us talk about income producing activities in any of our trainings. That is going to fall into the output bucket, okay? So the work you do to move your life forward, right? The second one is going to be maintenance. So what keeps things running, right? This is things that prevent chaos. So cleaning, emails, admin work, right? Errands, planning, organization, those types of things, okay? And then the third is going to be growth, all right? So this is what makes you personally better, right? So learning, improving, building your future, all right? Those are going to be different things in one bucket. Now, if one of these is missing in your routine, then you're going to start feeling stuck, overwhelmed, stagnant, right? Because one aspect of your life is not being worked on. I know for me, the thing that most of the time gets forgotten or missed out on is going to be like maintenance things, specifically like personal maintenance, like self-care and things like that. And when that gets missed out on, that will then lead to burnout. Okay. So I see some chats. I retired 2 years ago and have not developed a routine. That is a huge, huge, huge change. And it is okay to struggle with that, right? Because you're used to like consistent times and then you have like all this freedom and it's almost like paralyzing, right? Tina, what is a routine in itself? Tried working out first thing early in the morning, did not well. Yeah, Sukina,
No,
I
I
literally
was
cannot.
teasing about her not developing a routine yet. Well, that's a routine.
Yeah, I
Just
mean
like
it
I
is, right? You get
was
into a
just saying,
routine of not having a routine.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, working out first thing in the morning or like before 6 a.m. for me is just not feasible. It just does not work. And if you guys know me, like you know that waking up early is not something that I have been like quiet about. I've struggled with that literally my entire life. Okay. So trust me when I say that I understand how it's hard, how the changes are hard, and all of that. And we're going to work on creating it in a way that is easier in bite-sized pieces. Okay. Mornings are rough. Mornings and me do not get along at all. Okay, so output again might be your full-time job, this business, right? Anything you're doing for this business is going to be output. Maintenance is going to be things, like I said, like cleaning, emails, anything that just kind of helps relieve like chaos, right? That keeps you guys organized, all of that stuff. So this whole week of trainings is really focused on like maintenance um buckets, right? Growth is you as a person. So anything you're reading, like personal development, any new skills that you're learning, which also are this business can tie into output and growth because here with Evo and Archer, you're learning new skills while you're building your business, right? So this can fall into both. But again, your routine should include all three buckets in small ways, even, right? Even in small ways. Do you guys have any questions about the buckets or examples of the buckets? No, we're good? Okay. Let's move on to the non-negotiable three. I'm not seeing any questions in the Facebook chat either. So this is going to be the core of routines that actually stick, okay? It's not going to be like overwhelming schedules. You're not going to be doing like 150 like to-do list tasks each day, or I have to deep clean the entire house each day, and I have to work my business for 10 hours each day, and I have to, no, okay? We're doing one output task, one maintenance task, one growth task, okay? An example, walk 20 minutes, respond to emails, watch or read something that moves you forward, right? Read a little bit of a self-development book, listen to a podcast, watch an interview. I don't know, something like that, right? These are the three non-negotiables. So no matter what's going on that day, you at least have to do one of these one task from each bucket. Does that feel like it's more accessible to you guys than on a like and forgive I don't know if I can on a crappy day, we're gonna go there. I don't know if YouTube will let me use the other word. On a crappy day, do you feel like you could do at least walking 10 minutes, responding, posting one thing, and listening to one podcast? It could be a 10-minute podcast. Does that feel like something that is attainable to you that you guys could actually get done every single day? This makes me slow down. Yes, Casey, it does. Yes, sounds so much easier. Yes, yes, sounds reasonable. Perfect. Okay. We build off of that. All right. Walk and listen. Exactly. You just got two things done. Okay. So again, you're choosing three things. That's what we start with. And then you can build from there once that becomes easy. Okay. But these are the things you guys are going to do no matter what. This is going to help you keep things simple and realistic. Okay. Now, consistency is going to beat intensity every single time. You can sit here and work really, really, really freaking hard for 3 months, okay? And do 5 million tasks a day and work for 12 hours straight and whatever the heck you want to do. You are going to burn out. I can promise you that. You are going to burn out. But the person who is doing at least those three different types of tasks every single day is going to make it to the long run because they're making sure everything is taken care of. They're well-rounded. They're not going hard. You may be successful in those 3 months that you're doing that major intensity, but then you're not going to continue to be successful 6 months later because you're going to be exhausted. Okay. So consistency is going to beat intensity because once you're burned out, that's it. Like your brain cannot do it. So small actions being done consistently will beat big actions being done occasionally, right? A 20-minute walk a day is more powerful than working out in the gym for 5 hours one day a week. That doesn't work, right? Being consistent works. Okay. So doing something small, doing it often, and not quitting or skipping a day. Okay. Or even if you miss a day, not quitting and giving up. Like, oh, I missed today. I didn't do this today. So I'm just never going to do it again. All right. You guys don't need to be perfect. You guys just need to be able to repeat it and duplicate it and keep going. Okay. Now we're going to use that to build routines around your real life. Okay. Everybody is going to fall into one of these at any point in their life. Your life has seasons. Your seasons in life are going to change. Okay. So that means your routine in life is going to change based off of what season you're in. Okay. Sometimes you're overwhelmed. Sometimes you have more time and energy. Your routine is going to match your season. All right. First, we have high capacity seasons. These are when you have more time, more energy, you're focused, right? That's when you grow fast, when you push harder. Okay. We have medium capacity seasons. These are when you just need a little bit of structure. You have some time, but not a lot of time, right? You maybe need to get a little bit more effort in, but you're being consistent. Okay. That is where that's going to come in. Then we have low capacity seasons. You are busy, you are stressed, you are overwhelmed, you cannot handle a lot right now. Your routine should be short and simple. Those three non-negotiables, right? A lot of people make the mistake of acting like every single season in their life should look the same, having a high capacity routine in a low capacity season. That is also going to lead to burnout. That is going to make you feel like you're a failure, like you can't do anything. All of these things, all of those negative thoughts are then going to start circling in your head because you are not being realistic about where you are in life. And it's going to reflect in that, okay? Comparison is what kills consistency. So even comparing yourself to another version of yourself is going to kill your consistency. All right. Like I said, your routine does not need to look like anybody else's. We don't need to say, oh, this person is making $1 million a year. They are getting up at 5 a.m. They're going to bed at 11 p.m. We don't know them. You don't know what's going on in their life, right? You don't know what season of life they're in. You cannot compare that to you. Just like we say in the business, whether it's like for building or booking, you can't compare your front stage or your backstage to someone's front stage, right? You don't know what it took them to get to that front stage. Okay. Same thing here. You guys can't compare that because it's never going to help you. It's just going to hurt you. All right. And if your life is busy and chaotic or emotionally heavy, then we cannot be trying to operate in a high capacity season or a high capacity seasoned routine in a low capacity season of life. All right. Be gentle with yourself. Give yourself a simple routine, something that you can stick to easily. All right. And that is going to help with what I call the bare minimum rule. All right. At the bare minimum, even this is for when days are hard, right? When you're having bad days, or maybe just through that low capacity season. This is something that's going to help you be able to stay consistent even during the hard days. This is where we're getting at least those non-negotiable three, right? We're doing something for output, something for maintenance, something for why did I just blank on the last one? Something for I'm gonna go back. Growth. I was gonna call it, I don't know what I was gonna say. Something for growth. I was gonna say personal growth, but it's something for growth, right? At least one in each bucket. And I would honestly say during these types of times when you're having low capacity, I would say two maintenance, right? So maybe you're doing output, maybe you are responding to emails or posting something on social media. But maybe you need to clean the house, but also maybe you need to go take a relaxing bath, right? And then maybe you can listen to a podcast or something while you're walking, right? Something very, very simple that can help start working up and help you increase your energy. Apparently, I can't speak today, you guys. But this is when momentum matters more than motivation, right? So when you continue doing those little things, motivation during low seasons of your life is going to be low, right? But if you're continuing to stick to these little things, that is going to build your momentum, which is then going to build your motivation. Okay. Now, routines will create confidence because you guys are doing the things you say you're going to do. You're reducing decision fatigue. I don't know about you guys, but I freaking by the end of the day cannot make any more decisions. Tracy will sometimes ask me, "What do you want for dinner?" Not a clue. Not a clue, okay? But you're building that trust in yourself, all right? Because you're doing things that you told yourself you're going to do, even if they're small, right? That is where confidence comes from. That is where confidence starts to get built, all right? By those small wins every single day, okay? And again, these are building and creating results over time. You're not going to get results from day one. That's not how things work, right? But it's going to help you make those small changes to then one day make that big change in your life and have those bigger results that you're looking for. And when you start showing up for yourself daily, you stop doubting yourself. It's also going to quiet those negative voices in your head because you are proving to yourself every day that you can trust yourself and you do show up for yourself and you do stick to the things that you're going to do. Okay. So that is going to just build that confidence and quiet those negative voices. All right. But again, remember, you guys, routines are not about being perfect, they're about making progress. Okay. No matter what. All right, so that is all that I have for you guys today. I'm glad you guys are here. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Okay, this was all about creating simple, realistic systems that help you guys show up consistently without burnout. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Feel free to, actually, I'm not going to say don't unmute because then everybody's going to mute at once and it's going to get a little chaotic. So you can raise your hand on the Zoom, drop any questions in the chat or anything like that. Like I said, I'll be on as long as you guys need me, okay? Yes, I can, ma'am. There you go. Any recommendations on apps? Can you be a little bit more like specific, like to help you with routines, Marco? Yes, I do actually have one. I've been working with it. It's called Finch. You basically have like a little bird and you have to check off the thingy, the like tasks that you do, right? In order to build your routine. I have not checked them off for today. I'm just logging in for the first time, you guys. So, oh, just kidding. I guess I did log in this morning when I was half asleep. But you have to check off like the little, I don't know how well you guys are gonna be able to see this, but the little things that you set for yourself, you check them off. I have drank water today, so I can check that off. This one right here. And then as you check it off, oh shoot. As you check it off, your little stuff grows and then your little penguin grows too. And you can do like there's like journeys on here and like all this stuff. You get little rewards. You can like build it a little house and things like that. It's called Finch. I'll type it in the chat. Yeah, Finch. I really love it. I think it's super cute. It also gives you something to like be responsible for. So you have a little bit more like, I don't know, I guess motivation, but whatever. But you have a little bit more of a reason to do it, right? Um, does it cost? I do think I paid for this, but I think it has a free version as well. I honestly don't remember. Um, I know I did pay because it was like $35 for a year or something like that, and I was like, yes, let's do it. Um, but I think there's a free version. Yeah, Tracy said there's a free version. And let me put that in the Facebook chat too. Okay. What CRM do you use? That is a completely different training, Janet. But I use Turn. Thank you. This helped me so much. I was very overwhelmed. Of course, Regina, no worries. I have not heard of Critique AI. Oh, Sukina, you can unmute, girl. Sorry.
Hi. So I'm so glad that when I joined it, I was late. So I joined and you were talking about how we shouldn't be comparing our routine to like other people. And I used to be like, oh my gosh, these people are doing everything they need to do, and I'm here still behind. And then, like, I used to like really hurt me and blame myself for that. But again, I think I'm like, well, they don't have kids. Wait, they don't have this, they don't have that. And then after that, I would say, oh, this is just excuses. I'm just giving myself some excuses. That shouldn't be excuses. And then it's like, it's like a
Yeah.
constant battle between
And
that.
it never
And
stops.
I'm like, what do I do? Like, and then, I definitely don't have any good routine. I start some routines and then it works, and then something happen, the kids have this, they have after school stuff, volunteer and all those stupid things, and then it all falls back down to like, what am I doing? So
Yeah.
I'm really like struggling with a very good routine. I feel like my morning routine is definitely solid. I wake up 5, I pray, I do my stuff, and then the kids go to school, whatever. But then after that, I'm lost.
Yeah. So I think for you, time blocking will be really helpful.
Time
Um,
blocking. Okay.
we talked about it on Tracy's training yesterday in like major detail.
hmm
And I actually have to post her recording. That's on me, you guys. So
I started watching on
Uh,
the Facebook group. I
yeah,
finished it.
I
Yeah.
have to post the YouTube recording, so I will do that today. Sorry, guys, that's on me. I told her I would do that.
Mhm.
Um, but I would definitely like go to like the time blocking thing. I'll try to when I post it on YouTube, I'll try to see if I can do like the little chapter thingies where it goes like the different topics.
hmm
Um, but I think time blocking would be really helpful for that. And
Okay.
also when it comes to like comparing like routines, especially to like really majorly uber successful people,
hmm
I feel like it just there's so many reasons why it's not a good idea. But also like you don't know what it took for them to build that routine up, right? Like you don't know how long it took, you don't know how many times they failed before they were able to find a routine that stuck to or they were able to stick to. So it's like you don't again, that's the same thing as comparing the some people's like front stage to your backstage. Like you don't know the back end of it. So comparison in general is just freaking horrible. You guys really don't do it. Which is easier said than done, right? And I
Yeah.
totally know that. And I'm guilty of that as well. But if you guys can help it, like if you catch yourself comparing to yourself to somebody or comparing to something, like just remind yourself that there's comparison is just not going to help you and remind yourself of things that are going to help you.
Yeah. I'll definitely go and finish the Facebook Tracy's training. Thank you.
Yes. And like I said, I'll get it on YouTube today. Sorry. That's my
Okay.
bad. That's my bad. Alrighty, guys. Any other questions? I see you, Casey. You're welcome. Alrighty. Of course, you guys. Well, I'm glad this was helpful. Let me go ahead and there we go. Of course, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, okay, your week. And I can't wait to see you guys on the next training, all right? And those who are going to be at birthday this weekend, I cannot wait to see you. I am so freaking excited. So please come find me and give me a hug because I love and miss you guys all, okay? So I will see you guys soon. Bye, everybody.